What is everyone? Welcome to another wonderful Monday evening here in the 98 degrees of Los Angeles. It's been all
98
day.
degrees, like
Yeah.
Nick Lachey.
You know, that was my first live concert I ever went to, Tom. We talked about this in the podcast.
Was it hot?
No, the girl I had a big crush on was like, "Do you want to come to a
I
98
always
degree
want to.
concert with me and my best friends?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And she's like, "Great." Then my brother has someone who can keep him company. We were family friends. It worked out. I had a good time hanging out with. Shout out to Ryan Joyce, her younger brother. He's a good guy. Anyway, here we are. Nerd On Update, weekly show where we talk about the stuff in the news that excites us, and we answer questions from you, the people. We got the Tom and Corey show tonight.
Yeah,
I know you've been
something different.
asking for it. You've been waiting for it. Here we are, Tom and Corey coming at you live.
Look. Hold on. Actually,
live.
Hold on. This we got to do it. So you got the purple in the background.
Yeah.
I think I'll just do.
I got pink and blue. Yeah.
I'll just. I'll be Oppenheimer. You'll be Barbie, right?
I'll be Barbie.
That's
All
it.
right.
This is it.
I dig it. Although I do look like the recolor of Oppenheimer
do.
into Barbie colors right now.
You actually do.
But here we are, guys. We're doing it. We made it. I've had the AC blaring in here for about a half an hour, and it is still too hot to be. There it is. That's Oppenheimer. That's what's hot. Yeah, we're doing something a little different tonight. We're still going to talk a little bit about the news, but then we're kind of going to just have a discussion. We'll involve the chat, all that kind of stuff, but just want to talk about some things we get a finger on the pulse on some stuff in life.
And we want to say, hey, hello, Battery Print, Ethan.
Thank you for the raid.
Shout out to y'all coming through. Everyone.
Lizzie Superiority.
What is superiority? Yeah. Lizzie Superiority.
That's what it says.
That's the raid phrase. You know, how are you guys doing in the chat? How are you guys keeping up with the heat? How are you guys staying hydrated? Are you guys alive? Have you guys enjoyed your weekend?
Speaking of, I forgot my water.
Guys,
okay.
We're more than half a year through, half of the year done. Doesn't it feel great?
Time marches on. That's what I always say. Having some real thoughts about life and time, and I think that's just me getting to be 35 next year. It's just like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. This goes by so quick, this life thing. You think when you're 20, you're like, I got so much time. 15 years later, here I am. You're like, no, you don't. Live every day. Live it. Live every day like you're John Cena.
Yeah. Live it with some purpose, baby. We're gonna do something a little different, as Corey said. We're gonna go straight into the news, and then we're gonna have a little middle thing that it will be, a little bit more close to like podcasty, and then we'll do our questions at the end. But
how do y'all feel about that?
How do y'all feel? We'll wait.
Father Time still undefeated,
most powerful,
still killing it them. Anyway, so this is Corey.
This has become death.
Yeah, there it is.
Gets me, man. Gets me.
We gotta wait.
We also we have to make sure because with the WGA and SAG after striking, we're trying not to promote movies because that will bar us from joining
specific movies.
Yeah. So content creators are super getting hey, don't promote movies during the strike, especially if studios are asking you to do so. So it's tricky that we can't it's hard to talk about the news without sounding like we're covering it and reviewing it or promoting it.
I wish we were big enough that studios are asking us to cover stuff. And we would refuse, but we're not.
Yeah. So we'll just tell you the actual newsy stuff about the things of that nature.
Yeah.
So.
I'll go into the news first, and then we'll get into our discussion.
Yeah.
I'll start us off here, Tom.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering, Commander Masters.
Who'd have thunk it?
2023. They're here. The spoilers are out, baby. A lot of big reprints. Here's what we're learning. Sell your cards. Sell them. Don't hold them. They're going to tank. This is a great set to pick up some singles if there's some high pricing. I know we talked about the cycle of the free spells last week, right? The Fierce Guardianships, Deflecting SWAT, all that stuff. But they're reprinting things like Cyclonic Rift in 2 different forms, keeping it as a rare, meaning The normal Cyclonic Rift price tanking. I guarantee. I mean, maybe not tanking. It's a pretty big staple, but it's going down. It's going to be affordable. They're reprinting a lot of things that I thought they would uptick to mythics, just like the free counter spells that we're going to be playing against in everyone's deck come soon. But yeah, man, I'm actually like hyped to. This isn't a set I'm gonna be picking up any boxes of. The prices of the precons alone are about $150 to $180.
Jesus.
It's ridiculous, man. MSRP, where art thou? But yeah, so I'll be picking up some singles from this set for sure. Um, yeah, I'm just excited for it. It's a lot of stuff that like I'm all for reprinting things in the ground. I'm not a collector in the sense that like my future is being flushed down the drain due to these reprints. I'm like, good. Now more people can
Can play.
afford to play Magic, and that's what I want.
I think there should be like those like blue eyes white dragons are super like rare and shit, but like that doesn't mean someone can't have
Oh
a
yeah, I
playable
mean, Jeweled
version.
Lotus is still a mythic.
Yeah, but like I feel like there should be that like the serialized one, right? Where it's like, hey, this
Oh,
one
yeah.
is the rare one. If you want to be a whale, you want to be crazy, go get that one. But like,
Yeah.
don't paywall out people from playing the game.
We're also getting these schmexy, like full art commander cards. I want to find the right one here. I'll hold it up. I mean, Tom's gonna throw up a picture here of the Commander Master's Slimefoot, the stowaway. The art on that, man, it makes me. I've wanted to build Slimefoot for a while, but now I saw this Commander Master's art, and I'm like, yeah, they're doing these whole like profile picture versions of a bunch of popular commanders. Did you find it, Tom? Is it up?
Well, shit, man.
It's this one.
Nope.
Let me turn down my brightness here.
What the fuck?
It's this one. Let me turn down my brightness here. It's this one. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's a Magic card that exists now. I'm all for these profile pictures, man. They're beautiful as hell.
I can't.
But yeah,
I can't see it. I mean, I can't see it on mine. I don't know why. It's not working on my thing.
It's
It's
okay.
fine. It's fine.
don't worry about it.
It's fine.
I'm holding it up next to my own face because it's beautiful. But yeah, Shitman's from Dogma. That is what it looks like, a little bit. Anyway,
There you go.
that's mine. Oh, there it is. There it is. Beautiful, right? That art's so cool.
Which
With
one?
pink
This
background and
guy?
all that. This guy?
Slimefoot. Okay, that one. Oh, this
Commander
guy.
Masters
This guy. This
2023?
guy right there.
That's the one.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a boy.
man. That's a boy.
Deals 1 damage to
I'm
each
all
opponent you
for
gain
it.
one life. That's fuck. Okay. A little gruel. A little gruel.
I would do, I'd $100 budget commander. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build a $100 deck with just him. It's gonna be all fungus. It's gonna be called Aren't I a Fungi?
Jesus.
And that'll be it. Anyway, that's my news. Commander Masters, check it out. The whole spoilers are up for not only the decks but the entire set that's being sold at a local game store near you.
Yeah.
But if you want to pick up singles for that set, head to our affiliate links. Check out TCG Player. They are our affiliates. We make some moolah when you buy some cards, and that helps us out big time. We have some more Magic content coming down the pipe. It's taking longer than I want, but I have an idea. I want to pivot on it a little bit, and I think it could be pretty cool. Anyway, that's my news. Tom, over to you.
Well, there's a lot of news I'm reporting for because the Steves and Josh were all like, "Let's be lame. Let's pull a Zuckerberg and Elon
Are you covering
Musk."
their news?
And yeah, they mentioned it, and they're not going to be here for it. And then by the time they come back, it's not going to be news. It's going to be all who cares? I mean, even then, we're the news show that is like late on the news. That's like the fun thing about us.
Yeah.
But Josh wanted to talk about how Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers Animation are going to move to unionize, which could be a big deal, especially with Cartoon Network moving away from their building and going towards a building closer to where Warner Brothers is going to like be like the main studio up in Burbank. But that being said, it's pretty big. And Steve's want to talk about how The Rock made a sizable donation in the millions to SAG-AFTRA strike efforts, and a lot of people are saying that this is like the largest donation they've ever gotten in like the history of SAG-AFTRA, which is big. And I think it's cool because, you know, as much as I like to meme it up, like The Rock definitely does want to be like the president of the people, not like an elected official, but like, you know, like the people's champion in that way. And I still say he should have been the one to bring back the fucking Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Would have been nice. Would have been nice, but we don't live in that timeline. We live in the worst timeline, so to speak, in certain regards. Other than that, what news did I want to talk about today? Did I bring anything up? Did I put anything down? Oh, I'll talk about Barbenheimer news. Not promoting it, but just saying in terms of box office results, it is the third largest box office opening of all time, which is really cool. Obviously probably behind Endgame, Infinity War, and Avatar. But outside of that, that's huge. That's crazy that the two films together domestically brought in a close amount of like 200, almost $300 million into the box office, which, you know, proves to, I think, a lot of people that people still want, and people I mean like critics who are like the pundits for these studio execs, and the studio execs who just don't know why people aren't buying into such things. Not to like throw anyone under the bus, but like, why didn't Indiana Jones perform well? Why didn't, you know, The Flash perform well? Why, you know, outside the litany of any type of controversies, but, you know, the IP game, because Oppenheimer is a licensed, you know, IP since it's a book, American Prometheus, as well as Barbie is adapted, you know, IP as all heck. But I think it's really cool. It's a really interesting way to see just by the money and by the math and by the timing of it all. People will talk about that stuff, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But yeah, that's all the news that I'm willing to cover before we get into our mid-segment portion of the show.
Our disguise.
Yeah. Corey, bring us in.
Yeah, we kind of just wanted to talk a little bit.
With
Maybe it's
y'all.
a little chill back, get back, get relaxed. Talk about like the movie going experience. I guess really like post pandemic. We're still in a pandemic, really, but kind of post pandemic is what people are calling it.
Open discussion.
Open discussion. There we go. Because I, especially with having a kid and all that kind of stuff, you know, I haven't been to the movies in quite some time, and now within the last month, I've been a lot in the last few weeks. There's been some movies that I've been wanting to see for some time, and it's really interesting because I had gone to some movies during the pandemic. I went to see like Spider-Man, stuff like that. Big event movies, but not much in between, which Tom, you might be able to speak more to. But there was definitely like this lack of what I remember going to movies, like event movies, especially for. But yeah, these last like month of I guess even like 2 weeks really, have just been kind of. I feel like we're getting back to it. Like there's an energy at the movie theaters for people like me especially, who just like, I feel like we need it again. I feel like we need that storytelling, and people are looking for. It's really interesting to me because at least what I'm seeing from box office stuff is that people are really looking for something different and interesting, and are kind of tired of it. It almost feels, and I might be speaking too soon on this, but it feels like these, you know, superhero films and of that ilk, these long lineage franchise films are kind of going wayward, and people are looking for more of that like unique experience at the movie theater, or at least a different spin on things. So yeah, I just kind of want to dive into what that feeling is and what that might entail. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the portion I kind of want to talk about is I think there was this growing resentment for the movie going experience, especially with the rise of more tentpole IP films, Sony Cinematic Universe, Star Wars movies, Marvel, DC, Harry Potter. It just felt like, I think a lot of people had been mentioning it, where it felt like homework. It felt like you have to go, you have to continue to be excited. And there was a growing, like with Movie Pass as well with Netflix, like there was a good time where I remember people were saying like how they would rather pay an exclusive streaming service instead. They rather just be at home, pause, air conditioning, cook where they want, be removed from going to the theaters. And there was just a lot of rile and conflicts, especially, you know, when you have these older filmmakers talking about how the movie going experience is going away. You know, you're thinking about just merchandise in theaters, you know, trying to sell these like, you know, tin popcorn buckets, and it's the hoo-ha and all these content creators and, you know, bloggers and social media influencers trying to create clout. You know, you're having people just like going out trying to record videos in theaters. You know, the idea for me, like I remember one of my most favorite experiences going to the theatre was watching the Roadshow. Bitch, we saw Hateful Eight together.
We saw that.
And I think
Yeah, man.
watching the Hateful Eight Roadshow, for those who don't know, was a 3-hour version of watching the Hateful Eight, Tarantino's film. When you go to the film and you order the Roadshow ticket, you were given a booklet, very much like a program. And there was, if not a physical red curtain, there would be a digital one where halfway through the film, they would go fade to black, the curtain would come in, and you would hear this overture of the score by Ennio Morricone. And
So cool.
it was great, and it gave everyone a moment to go to the restroom, go outside, chat about what they thought about the movie so far. Very much how it would be if you were going to see a live performance of, you know, at the theater. And you know, having that kind of experience in a movie, in a film, is really cool. It heightens, it amplifies, it enhances this experience. And what I really wanted to kind of hone in on is I feel like movies like Maverick, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, and now recently with Barbenheimer, seeing this kind of user buzz generated, you know, of course there's marketing involved for people to get excited about it, but there's a lot of it on the heels of people just genuinely be excited for a fresh take at even IP, not even just like new ideas, right? We have a bunch of new films coming out all the time, and they just don't have the budget to market them comparatively to all these big boys. But I really feel like this weekend, as well as something for me, reignited that kind of love and enjoyment of going out, being amongst people, sitting in a seat, sitting next to some strangers, smelling popcorn, mishaps going on, stupid teenagers, you know, in the front seats. You know, it feels like these distilled moments of 2 hours, 3 hours that you're in a place in public, and, you know, you can, you know, you can say that we share the same sky, the same air, the same, you know, ground that we walk upon in country, in the States, or in the city, but we all don't take time to like really share that grace for it. But when you're in the movie theater, you do. And, you know, if you go in LA specifically, you know, we are in a little bit of our own bubble. You go to an AMC theater and you see Nicole Kidman and everyone's clapping. It's that like,
That was bizarre to me. I was new to that.
yeah. And it's that wild, like, I always think about like this. It's one of my, like, one of the dumbest examples I always think about. It's from the movie Knocked Up with Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl. There is an earthquake that happens, and everyone leaves the house, and then cops drive by, and Seth, isn't it? No, is it? Is it 40-year-old? Is it Knocked Up? It is Knocked Up. Someone just smashes a bong, and because the cops are coming, and then Seth Rogen says, "California, man," And it's one of those like you look at each other just like, yeah, we're in a movie, it's AMC and Nicole Kidman's doing the thing, and it's like everyone thinks it's dumb, but we're all like, yeah, you know what, we're here for it. People can even like recite it like it's the Pledge of Allegiance, and
People did. That was wild to me.
I
The whole group behind us that said it like the Pledge of Allegiance. Is
yeah, and
exactly it.
I think that's what I would like more than the mic drop moment when a superhero makes an appearance on the screen. Like you can get the rowdy, cheery things like that, but when you have these like cultural things that just amongst all ages and all walks of life, like there's men and women. They don't have to all necessarily like the same thing, but they're all here for the same reason.
Right.
Like there are moments that you can do that in a superhero film or into like a genre film or into like a big IP thing. But like, if you can go beyond that and just enjoy, like, in many ways, like I was just kind of saying, like, it's the kookiness of the fact that we're all here watching something that like we've all kind of been anticipating in a weird way. But
Yeah.
like there wasn't this fanfare of like, this is going to be this huge cultural event. We like created it as this big, huge cultural event.
Yeah.
So
It was cool to see, like, I was reading interviews with box office analysts about how they've never seen something like this before, and it's all user generated as far as we know. Um, and it was kind of beautiful to see that come together. There's a lot of the memes about like what was the one you said so Barbenheimer could run that
Dark Mama.
Dark Mama.
Dark Mama
But
Mia.
like they're like, of course we've seen stuff like that where it's like you got the gritty action and you have the rom-com and they have the separate audiences, so they release on the same day and it's no big problem. But like this was something just entirely different. It was just a different beast, and for some reason, maybe we've needed something like this as a group of
Cultural
people to get like
reset.
this. Yeah, we need like a cultural, like everyone could agree on it, and it was like we haven't all agreed on anything for almost 10 years. Like what is, like, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing
And I think
to see happen.
the cool thing is that I think the people who are like, I'm here for Oppenheimer, or the people who are like, I'm here for Barbie, were like, I'm happy that you get to be here for what you want.
Yeah.
And then there's
And
people
everyone
who's
was
like,
so
I'm
nice.
willing to do both.
Yeah, I mean we did both, but like everyone was so nice. Like everyone was down to take pictures for people who were there. Like everyone was down to like be super polite. Like, oh, you want to get in the Barbie box, take a picture? Like, do you want me to take your picture? You take our picture. Like, it was just a very cool. It was a cool thing. It was a cool thing to see. But yeah.
No, and I think, I don't know. Yeah, it's like this social, like, viewing experience on Wii that like I feel like humanity is like missing. And like I've talked about it before where like I feel like everyone is kind of just chasing the dragon in the sense of like we want to feel like what it was like to watch something for the first time again. And when it feels like it's so programmed, it becomes more routine than to go somewhere to be surprised. And we've talked about it a lot on this show where like a lot of people don't want to take that risk, and risk aversion is a real thing. And I feel like Barbenheimer in particular, and especially in the last few months too, there's been a lot of films that just kind of gave people like a reason to give it a shot. And I think there is this like critical mass happening between artists, the corporations, the consumers, and even the critics who are just like trying to find that like reason to really be excited, because it's starting to like we are producing more films than ever. We are watching more films than ever. Some audience members are becoming more sophisticated than ever. Some of them are becoming dumber than ever. There's just so much content compared to like films and stories being made that it's like, how do you filter out the proper noise? And if we can have like, again, have something like this where it is a Barbenheimer moment, I just feel like, yeah, it's this cultural reset of like expectations of like, okay, like kind of like how The Dark Knight was like, okay, people are really excited about films again. Or Dark Knight was like, we can really take comic book films seriously. And
Yes.
so it's like this kind of felt like, oh, we can really start taking these seriously again in their respective places. And I don't know,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
It was fascinating to see. I can't wait to discuss more about the movies. It was also cool to see the artists from each film getting in on that too. Like Cillian Murphy's one of my favorite actors, and hearing him talk about you know, he'll be seeing Barbie as soon as he can. Like I thought that was just really cool to see the on both sides just being like, yeah, we're gonna go see Oppenheimer. We're gonna go see Barbie. Like it's that cool. It's that like friendly. I don't not friendly competition isn't even the right word for it,
No,
but just that like support of art and
yeah,
it was kind of cool to see.
I always say it this way, where it's like, I feel like at the end of the day, real artists, real performers, real people recognize real, right? Like
Yeah,
you like a director that's worth their bones would never slam another director directly, right?
yeah,
Because they know at the end of the day, we're all surviving the fucking war, which is to make something
yeah,
in the highest stressful main point. Of course, you could say, well, millions of dollars being thrown at you. It's like, but also you have to do it on time. You have to do it based on the way that you want to do it, as well as the other people want to do it. And then also you're like fucking with people's careers at a certain point. And then you have to present it to the world being like, all right, shit, here I
yeah,
did it, right? And like,
yeah,
everyone's like, well, if there's more control, it's like that's how you get into those committee-based films where it's like you got 10 million fucking execs being like, this is how it should be done based on this focus group, and it's not this real singular vision anymore. But
yeah.
to
It's also cool to see that online. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say the last thing I want to say about this is online too. Like, people are jumping on, at least on Reddit and all these other sites I'm doing research on. Is like these articles will pop up and be like, Barbie, smashes Oppenheimer out of the water, and everyone in the comments is just like, why? Why are you pitting these films against each other? Who gives a fuck? Like, no, it didn't. They're both doing fine. Like, of course, like the
PG-13 versus
PG-13 to
R. Yeah.
me, the hour, just under 2 hour movie is gonna, the R-rated 3 hour and 10 minute movie is gonna, yeah, of course. Like, who cares? This is the wrong headline. Both movies are doing great. Isn't this cool? Should be your new headline. And it's cool to see that across the board as well.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is just in comparison to, since you brought it up, of like you going out to watch movies and me watching movies, like I wouldn't say I go regularly, but like just in comparison, like I mentioned, like on my Letterboxd account, I tally up how many movies I watch, and I try to watch nothing but new movies. I hardly ever try to do a rewatch. Last year I did around like 46 movies, and this year I'm at 100. And it's a lot, and I will tell you right now, like the hardest thing to do when you watch that many movies is to remain faithful and actually still enjoy it. And I can only understand why critics fucking just hate going to movies, especially when they're like, it's their job. But like, that being said, like I've watched so many in this time, and a lot of them in theaters, a lot of them are at home. Like I have to watch things I haven't got a chance to watch before and catch up on certain things, or watch things I didn't get a chance to watch in theaters. Like RRR was in American theaters for X amount of time, and then they were off, and then they were finally on Netflix. So it's like I had to watch that at home. But trying to go to the theaters as much as I can. Sometimes they're just like not in opportune times, and I just go at the local Lancashire, and it's like a random night. But like that it's always interesting to see who comes up like the week after the opening weekend. Like I remember seeing that happen with, it was Spider-Verse, Flash, then Dial of Destiny, then Transformers, and every single one of those I did not watch the opening weekend, and every single one of those were all packed.
Yeah.
And it was that weird, like they shot so many films all at once that no one was watching it. Like the fact that Elemental still did a lot of, like, did really well overseas and tanked here. Like, just to me, it felt like we're at this time where like they're just shooting a bunch of movies at the same time, and they're just trying to release them and just trying to compete, and just like not even looking at the margins of success of those. Whereas like I remember the good times were like, and people may not remember this. There's 3 and 4 years difference between Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
It's 2005, 2008, and 2012. And those felt like events. Those felt like I have to watch the next one. I have to watch the next one. Whereas like now we're just like, oh, when's the next one? Oh, next year. When's the next one?
next
Oh,
year.
5 months. Oh, it's gonna come out
Yep.
on streaming in 3 weeks. It's like Jesus Christ. Like there's no like you can, and there's something I thought about with video games too. You could never be excited about a video game as much as you are before it comes out.
Yeah.
There is no higher hype of a video game before it comes out. And I feel that way with films. And you know what was one of the highest hyped films I've heard about this year? And I heard
Oppenheimer.
nothing from it afterwards.
I want to guess this.
It's something you know, but I don't think it's the one you're going to guess.
Oh, well, then go ahead.
Asteroid City.
Oh, yeah.
I heard so much hype. Complete silence. Radio silence the day it came out. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, Wes Anderson's like probably one of the most crafted and skilled storytellers of our time in our generation. And then like just there's no hype about it. And like I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just like it sucks. And it really kind of like makes you think, how do people like conceptualize a film? And Parasite was one of those movies that like it was a success because of word of mouth. And if they teach you anything in sales, that word of mouth is the most powerful form of advertising, but it's also the most like fickle. So like, Asteroid City, like a lot of TikTokers were like, we can do this style and shit. And then like, I don't know if it did well, and it had a star-studded cast, but yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. And it's like, it's not, I see a comment in the,
it looks like it did well, I guess.
yeah, it could have done great, but it's crazy that you don't hear about it afterwards. And
It's only 20 million budget.
and I see this comment in the chat saying now that's why I'm so picky on things nowadays that I shouldn't be. And I mean, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like it goes both ways. 100% like, yeah, you should be, because some things they're definitely just like pushing out as if it's a Sonic video game before it's even ready to come out. And then other times it feels like you didn't even hear about it. And so like, if you didn't hear about it, then obviously the studio doesn't care about it. Or it just comes and goes. And then, like, what is the significance if like, we're
I
just
think Asteroid City you can already like rent.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like there's just so low in reasoning. And like, I think with Nolan specifically saying like, this is shot on IMAX, 70 millimeter IMAX is the best way to watch it. It makes people feel like, should I go watch it that way?
Bro, and people are.
And I'll just give you guys some factoids. Like here in LA, there's one of the IMAXs in Burbank, and it's at the Universal City Walk. That shit is booked out until August, like mid-August at least.
Till it leaves IMAX.
Yeah, which is crazy. And IMAX isn't the $15 ticket. It's the $30 ticket. So the fact that every seat's taken up and people are going to see it. Like, same thing with
Chinese theater. I was looking like at a Tuesday afternoon, packed.
Yeah.
Tuesday afternoon.
So I don't know if you were here, Corey, when I did a recap of SnyderCon that happened. There was $150 tickets to watch each film, all sold out in 5 minutes. You could have bought all 3 tickets to watch all 3 of them for $500. All the tickets sold out in 5 minutes. Yeah. And to watch Zack Snyder's
almost Spice Girls level.
Yeah, to watch the Snyder
I think
cut.
their tour sold out in like 2.5 minutes or something.
To watch the Snyder cut, they were watching it in the IMAX at City Walk. And it's that kind of thing where it's just like, what is the big reason people are going to go to theaters? Get out of their butts, stop the stream, stop the binge, and go to a theater. And I feel like it has to be those very particular things. And like, to me, again, I would rather
particular set of skills.
Yeah, I would rather go watch a movie that's going to make a big swing and fail miserably than to go watch something that's like part of the program. Like, if it's part of the program, then I know it's going to be not bad, and then I can watch it on a streamer, or I can watch, Beau is Afraid on A24, at a theater. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It could be terrible. It could be, whatever. But it's like, I know for a fact it's going to try something maybe different.
Hey man, A24.
A24 doing great. I
What's
mean,
up?
part of the
Yeah.
news stuff too, the interim producer agreements. There's like 20 films currently in production, and two of them are from, or most of them are from A24. And they said they signed the agreement for everything and being like, cool, we'll agree to all the WGA and SAG things, which
Hmm.
is really cool. But yeah, it's I say it this way: you always got to pay with your dollars, and going to the movies, watching the movie that you want to support and you want people to like show up for. It's
Yep.
funny when you see all the like DC influencers who are getting paid off by like marketing are all saying show up for like the Flash and Blue Beetle, and you're just like, God damn, like this is not the way. This is just not the way. So it's crazy. Want to move to our next part, Corey?
Yeah. Let's move to our next part here. We wanted to talk a little bit about just some projects we're working on. State of the artist, as you will. That's what we'll call it. I don't have much going on right now. I have a few projects on the back burner. I have one that I'm close to finishing for Nerd On itself that has to do with Magic the Gathering. But the big project I just actually wrapped on and just as of last week got sent the credits for to approve of. And my sister's getting a cinematography credit on, which I'm very excited for, is a music video for a band called Goodnight Texas. Keep an eye out. Follow their YouTube channel. Check it out. It's coming soon. I don't know the exact date, but Goodnight Texas, great band. Love working with them. Love all those guys. But yeah, man, that was a cool experience. I've been wanting to do stuff with music and video for quite some time. I have a kind of I do have a passion project I'm working on very slowly. Filmed at our family ranch, but getting to do this opportunity where I got to film with this band and kind of direct and run the camera was really cool. It was really it was one of those moments where you do something and the whole time I think I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, I mean, like, I'm new to this, like, totally cool, like, I got you guys, but just like, oh, I'm new to this. And then I did it and I was like, fuck, I gotta stop underselling myself on certain things. It was one of those come to Jesus moments about myself where I was like, no, like, you could do these things, you got this. It turned out, I'm really proud of how it turned out, and I'm excited for the world to see it. But yeah, it was a very self kind of looking inward moment at the end of it where I was like, shit, man, I just got to take more stock in what I got.
Do it scared, do it alone, do it terribly, but do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just like the only way you get better is just keep doing it, and then you'll find the things that you like and the things you don't like. Some things, Bad Reprint knows about this, and I think Bad Reprint even read the script because I think I put it on. No, I had them be a test reader for the script. But it's something I mentioned on our Patreon on the little Tom Talks, little updates. I'm in post production. Finally got into assembly. I think the assembly is done. I think. Last night
Big
I
deal.
got into a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna slap these together, and it was like there was no like I have to do it. It was just like I'm just gonna put that there. I'm just gonna put that there. I'm just gonna put that there, and then that was it. And then I was like, I just went one
And then it
scene,
all
one
came
scene,
together.
and then I was just done. And it was one of the, like, it was definitely not the way I normally edit things or do anything like that. Like I don't try to go into editing rooms. I fucking abhor editing. I hate, like, I understand it, and I definitely like, I'm like, hey, let's do this, let's make sure we get more of the reaction shot and the dialogue from that person on them instead, because I need to see that performance instead. But then like I hate putting it on the timeline and doing all the fucksing with it. And then I also hate shooting shit by myself. Like I'm just like, my arms are tired. Like I don't want to like
My back
move
hurts.
and like also follow the focus. Like obviously,
Man, Tom, if only you knew someone who loved doing both those things.
I mean, to me, if I know someone, and I think that's gonna be your next step is to get yourself an AC, and so you can have
Yeah.
a remote follow focus,
Hmm.
because then you can just worry about the move,
Yeah.
and then you go like, cool, where's the one? This is the two. Cool. Get the 1, 2, boom, boom. Um, but yeah, that's in post. I think I have maybe 2 more passes, and then I'll send it off to get colored, and then I gotta
Nice.
get a score, and then I mean I could build the credits out. I gotta do one pickup, and then I'm done, and we'll see where it goes to final mix. I gotta record some ADR stuff. It's all stuff that's not even diegetically. It shows up diegetically, but it's all part of the opening sequence. But yeah, that's been taking some while. It's actually it's a very man, such a conflicted production at this point now, considering things. And so like there's a little bit of this like it kind of feels like I'm putting away like parts of this journal, or like the school yearbook finally kind of feeling. So there's that project going down. But I'm actually like I started writing something, and I felt like it's inspired by something I recently watched, and it's kind of the story I think I've been like kind of trying to figure out how to tell. But man, I think I've nailed what I want to just do as a proof of concept. I'm like, this is the first story that I'm like, I think this will work as a proof of concept, completely as a proof of concept. That's like, here's the you know, like the seed, and then here's the stinger, and then it's like, cool, now who wants to invest in this and like make it like a feature? Because I think, and it has legs, I think it has true legs, and it's like it's funny because like I didn't think I'd be this person this telling this kind of story, but again, it uses in that same way genre to just talk about something very humanistic. And it of course, and I'll just say it this way, Corey knows these scripts, and so I won't say which ones are which, but Corey knows that I have a zombie story. Corey knows I have a werewolf story. And this one's a ghost story. And I was like, what is happening to me? Why am I becoming
You're Del Toro's, he was going to do the monster universe for a while, and now it's just you're just taking on that torch.
What is happening to me? But mine is like, and this is actually, it's kind of like meant to be more of a comedy too. So
what if you're secretly building the Count Chocula universe? Because you got like Boo Berry, right? There was the werewolf guy, did the fruity Tutti Frutti, I think was called. And then there was the mummy zombie one who did the cereal. Now you just got to do a vampire one about chocolate, and you'll be the Count Chocula universe.
Honestly, if I were to ever do a vampire movie,
CCEU,
this is what I would do. I would do it where it's like the vampire is like the last being on Earth that they know of. Like the world ended, like Vampire Hunter D level, where like post-apocalyptic world, and then that vampire meets like someone. And so this idea, like this loneliness, and then that person dissects, like, why would you choose to be a vampire? And it's like, because I could live forever and blah, blah, blah. It's like, but even then you didn't do a lot. It's like, I did this, and this. And they would go over their life story. Because I always think like, to me, I would choose to totally be a vampire so I can like accumulate wealth and gain knowledge and gain influence and like hopefully help the world. Because like, I just feel like it's impossible to do something really impactful with the amount of time we have, especially if you don't have like a silver spoon shoved up your ass.
This is why Tom has always said he would be immortal if he could.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But then, you know, you'd have to live with the sorrows of like the connections you have would kind of become blinks of, you know, reality, because they would just go away so quickly while you were, you know, figuring that out. Like time would just affect you differently. But anyways, want to go into some questions? Yeah.
The last 15 here. Thank you for coming along with us on this ride of the kind of a different update, but I think it was I hope it was fulfilling for you. It was fulfilling for me. I feel much better.
Yeah, it's cool. And we you know, we're working on some new developing things with the podcast, so you might see some new things, hear some new things. Yeah, so let's go to some first questions. If you would like, which we obviously implore you to be part of the show, get part of the conversation, be part of that Nerd On world, you could send your questions over to nerdon.tv/questions. As Josh would say, there's no such thing as /. Technically, it's /, And I've said slash for a long time,
Yeah,
and then
but
he
like,
would look at me like I'm a fucking idiot, and I was like, no one calls it backslash. And now he says no one calls it backslash. I'm like, that's what I said 5 years ago. But yeah, nerdon.tv
Tom's version of
/questions.
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Nerdon.tv /questions. If you want to be part of the Nerdon community, join nerdon.tv /discord. It's free for y'all. To be part of the discussion, continue the conversations of our podcast, anything that you like to get your nerd on about. And if you want to support the show, you can join our Nerd On Nation at nerdon.tv /Patreon. And if you join that, then you'll get put into the Discord in a secret, cool channel selection place. And those questions will be put into this bucket that I'm going to read out of first, such as Black Devil Mamba asked this question. You have been given the ability to talk to one type of animal. What animal would it be? And what question would you ask them? There's a second part, and I'm not going to read that off for you.
Okay. What if I could talk to an animal? Which animal would it be?
And what
I could talk to all of the animals, or just
you have the ability to talk to one type of animal.
one type?
And what would it be?
What would the first question I ask? If I can talk to all of them, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. But what would the first question be? I like this one.
I mean, I could break the answer. I could break the question. One type of animal?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mammals.
Yeah. No, Tom.
It's an animal. There's a type of animal in the genus with the penis. Anyways,
and what would you ask the mammal? You can already talk to mammals, Tom. Just
I have nipples. Can I get milked?
Yeah. All right.
No, that's not it.
I feel like it would be
sharks.
Man. No, it's not sharks. Yeah, I don't know how I would talk to a shark underwater. Gills. It doesn't say that the physical. I don't have gills. Can you milk me, Greg? I feel like it would. I mean, like the easy answer is cats, right, or dogs, because I could talk to my cats or my dog, my mom's dog, or future dogs. But I feel like, bro, I feel like crows. Like I'm about to become Sauron here, Saruman. I mean, and talk to crows because they see everything, smart as hell. I mean, here's the other thing: you could talk to an animal, their IQ doesn't get better just because you can suddenly understand them, right?
You could be like Kevin from Up.
Yeah, I want to pick a high IQ animal. So it's like crows, or maybe like, bro, if I could talk to the orangutans at the zoo, I'd be like, what do you think the meaning of life is to the orangutans? I feel like that's what they think about all day. They're so smart, so beautiful. But the crows, man, I don't even know what I would ask. That's the crazy part. That's tough. What's it like to fly?
Okay. I'll hold that. A crow, what's it like to fly? For me, I would choose to probably talk to... I don't see them that often, but I feel like I would want to, because in the same way, I want to talk to an animal with a little bit of a higher IQ. A horse.
A horse?
Yeah. And I'll be like, do you know sad and depressed people use you for therapy?
and drug addicts.
And drug addicts.
Yeah.
So the plot twist, your other co-hosts will answer your question as said animal.
Oh, man. That is what's it like to fly?
So that's how they sound, right?
Yeah. That's one of the sounds they make.
It creeps me out when I hear that. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, oh my God, it's just a
horses. I mean, like, if I was a horse, I'd be like, yeah, I do. I'm cool with it. They do. They know that they're emotionally understanding animals. Horses. They know sadness. They know happiness. You're like, yeah, that's cool. If I can help, I'll help. They like to work.
So if I have to answer the actual crow, what's it like to fly? I would say
freeing.
It's great when there's not a gust of wind trying to just slap me out of the air. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine if like you're walking down the street and a car just comes at you. You're like, why?
I told the story about the pigeons, right, with my uncle.
No, I don't think so.
When my mom was like, there's pigeons in the road, and my uncle was like, oh, the airspeed velocity of the car will lift 3 pigeons. Just boom, killed.
Oh shit.
You know the air. That's what you said. The aerodynamics of the car will
Oh, the
lift
drag.
them.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
lift from no.
They're pigeons, man. Doves. Anyway,
Jesus.
I like that. I like that second part of that question. That was fun.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question comes from Spencer 13H.
Shout out.
You are being tortured for information, and a Pokemon is going to crawl up your butt to get it out of you, but you get to pick the Pokemon. What are you choosing, and why?
Oh man. A Pokemon. Pokemon's gonna.
A Pokemon's
Your
gonna
butt.
Ant-Man Thanos to me. What should have happened?
I mean, it's gotta be Ditto, right?
Oh God.
But like, think about it, right?
It just slips in there.
Yeah, because it's like it forms. It's not like stretching you in any way, like everything else would. Like it's form fitting. It's gotta be Ditto. It's gotta be Ditto. That's the answer. You can't be like Regice. Like it's gotta be.
Jesus Christ.
It's gotta be Ditto.
Can't be a
I was trying to
Golbat.
think of the smallest Pokemon, but like, no, that ain't the problem.
Can't be a Quillfish.
Yeah, Mewtwo. It's gotta be. It's Ditto, for me.
I mean, that's a good one.
I'm gonna Google what's the smallest Pokemon. But like Ditto's even like, it's like liquid almost, right? I guess Muck could be the other one.
Oh, you're right.
Muck or,
Ethan who's saying the Vaporeon. I mean, the Vaporeon is within the
I
egg
don't know
group.
this.
You know about this, right?
No.
It's very degenerate.
Oh, okay, then I'm good.
It's very
I'm
degenerate.
still gonna go with Ditto, or it's like Grimer or Muck. would
They
be the other two, I
talk
guess.
about it in that President's Play Magic show,
Oh, okay.
and it's Biden who says it, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It's just so
The
it's just
smallest
so hot.
one is Cutie Fly.
Oh, it's a bug.
Smallest,
It's
it's tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real tiny. I'm gonna stick with my original answer because I had to Google this, but
Yeah.
yeah, it says that Cutie Fly next to, is that Joltik?
Oh, that's a spider though.
Yeah. Cutie Fly is like a mosquito. Anyway, I still go with Ditto because it's form fitting.
Oh my god, crawl up my butt to get out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pick a Ghastly? Cause it's just air, right? Right? Or is it a giant ball?
It's like it's got the ball part that's like on fire.
Then fine, I'll pick a cast form because at least it could turn into water.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cast form. Cast form turns
I
into
respect
water.
that.
As long as it
I
doesn't
respect
turn to
that.
a fireball in my butthole, then I'm okay.
I respect that.
Next question. Thank you, Spencer. Next question is going to be
Thank you, Spencer.
from T-Dog. Oh, this is a good question. This is actually a good question. All the other questions were good too. T-Dog 8282 asks, just saw they might be doing a live action Disney Hercules. Who should play Hades? I talked about this at work because I saw this. I have a pick, but like, okay, we'll do two. Who's
Yeah.
alive and who's dead?
Got you.
Because mine was dead.
This is scratching such an. This is the show I've been pitching a show like this to Tom for 5 years, where I'm like, we fan cast thing. We recast old movies. We have limits. We have like guidelines of who we can
Timeline, like
cast.
eras.
Yeah, like you're doing, do the Matrix, but it's the 40s.
Yeah.
Anyway, who would be Hades? Anyone who's alive has to be alive, and then there's one that could be like
They passed away.
Yeah. Oh man. Robin Williams.
That was my dead one. That was my guy.
Oh, then I'll do something else.
No, you can have it. You can have it. I was like, oh, how do you like? Because Hades. Okay, James Woods Hades in the animated.
I'll do something else. George Carlin.
Wow.
I'll do George Carlin as mine.
Because the guy has to be angry. Has to pull off comedic anger.
That's true.
Kind of
know
like
if George Carlin
loud
could do that.
flamboyance. Could be that suave and kind of can do that kind of improv-y like
I mean, they're gonna make it their own, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, if you're going based off the Disney Hercules, you know, fine.
Yeah.
But like, if you're doing off of the Kevin Sorbo Hercules, that's just a different thing.
No. It's the Disney one.
Yeah,
I
he's got
mean,
to be
Robin
Blue
Williams is
Flames, gray skin it up. You know, like who can do
the
that?
good
Who's got
answer.
Pain and Panic, and you know has blackmailed Megara. You know, who's eaten worms as like Hydra's beating up on Hercules.
Yeah. No, that's. I mean, it's Robin Williams, right?
Yeah, Robin was just like I was like, Robin is so fucking good.
Pain and Panic, played by, let's say, Chris Farley and
I wasn't going with David Spade. I
David
wasn't going.
Spade. Yeah,
I
we
wasn't.
both said it.
I wasn't going for pain. I just want the Hades. We just want
I know
Hades.
you just said it made me think of like Chris Farley and David Spade would be great with Robin Williams. So then Liv, we both say Robin Williams. That's the right answer. And then Living, Alive Now, because fuck James Woods.
Yeah.
Is it Jim Carrey? Do you have an answer already, Tom?
He would have the narrowness of the face in an interesting way, and I mean, I don't know if it's just because of recent viewing. I think Ryan Gosling.
He would make it his own for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Oh, Willem Dafoe.
It's Willem Dafoe, bro. That's what
It's
it is.
Willem Dafoe.
It's Willem Dafoe as Hades. It's Willem Dafoe as Hades 100%.
And if
That's the answer.
And if I were to do currently Pain and Panic, if they're alive,
Yeah.
I think I might just do.
Zach Galifianakis
Oh, that's good.
and
I was gonna go for who do I want? Who would I want? Who would I want? Because to me, I actually what I see it as is Thomas Middleditch as
and Ben Schwartz.
I could do Ben Schwartz. I could do them, but I'm like, do I want to do someone else?
I kind of want to see Pain and Panic be I mean, because it would be CGI characters, right? Still.
Key and
So I
Peele.
would say I kind of want Buscemi in there somewhere. I don't know why. Anyway, good question. That's fun. That's a fun one. I like
I
that.
got these
It's
two.
Willem Dafoe, guys.
It's Willem Dafoe. It's Willem Dafoe. I got these two questions in here from the chat. I'm going to save one and then pick the other.
Okay.
Because
This
we
is the last
are
question,
coming
right?
up on our hour. And I think I'm going to take...
Thank you guys again for letting us have our little chat on the state of things. Appreciate that big time.
I think since I have a lot of questions from 51 Jonathan, I'm going to pick a 51 Jonathan because it sounds like I'm not answering 51 Jonathan's questions recently. So, I'm going to save that one for next time, but this one I'm going to pick, which is from last time. 51 Jonathan, what is your most valuable item? Example, my most valuable item is a picture autographed by Ralph Macchio.
Like valuable in terms of dollars or valuable in terms of like sentimental value?
Yeah, sentimental or not or dollars. 51
I
Jonathan.
feel like that's got to be sentimental, right?
I don't know. Ralph
Because
picture
things become much more valuable to yourself when they're
either one, either or, whatever you want.
I mean, it's not here. It's in a safety deposit box, but I have an autographed Walter Payton rookie card.
Ooh.
That is my pride and joy of possessions. I opened it with my dad. He used to buy boxes of baseball cards, and we'd try to collect the whole set and then sell them to card stores. and I opened it, and we had to send away for it, and they sent it in, and a couple months later he died.
Wow.
Walter Payton. But my dad lost his mind because he was a big sports guy, knew exactly who Walter Payton was. Yeah, I'd say that's one. I mean, money wise alone. Besides that, the memory I have of opening it and still having it, like it's definitely sentimental wise my most valuable thing. I haven't even looked up how much it's worth. I just keep it because I'm like, I'm not selling that ever. Juniper can sell it one day if it's worth some money, or pay for a college or something. But I have no idea what it's worth.
Host cards? Oh, like we have our own host cards? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Mine is
Nerd on the Gathering.
mine is
Magic the Gatheron.
it's not the most expensive card I own, but it's the one that has a lot of sentimental value to me, which is this Trihorn Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the first secret rare from the first booster pack ever of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is not the most expensive card, but it's literally the first ever one that has designation 000. And it's not even that good of a card. It just has all sentimental, because I remember when I got it for the first time, it was like a big deal for me, and I was just like, wow, this card's like truly has value. Of course I have my Charizard card, but like this one was like I got it on my own. Like my dad got me my Charizard card, but this one was like, oh, this is really important. And it was really cool to show my dad, like, hey, I kept it in really good condition. He's like, cool. But yeah, I'd be cool with we do little trading cards. I've always been down to have a fucking board game about us, and not super like masturbatory, but yeah. But yeah, that's our show. Thank you for everyone swinging by. And it's a warm, hot day. All your ACs and electronics are probably melting your houses. Stay cool, stay hydrated. Go watch Barbie. Go watch Oppenheimer if you want to, or not to, because I can't promote it all.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Can't say anything. Go live your life. I'll say it this way. Neil Gaiman said, go watch whatever the hell you want to watch. Like, supporting the movies is not crossing the picket lines.
Supporting all the people who made it.
Yeah.
Can I say if I liked it or not?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's
anyway.
Hard. Yeah, so go be part of people in community and life and shit. Jesus Christ. It's like when YouTube was like, you can't cuss in the first 5 minutes. Like, fuck this shit. Anyways, take care, everyone. Let's see if we can go ahead and raid somebody. Let's go ahead. Send you all over to who is anyone streaming right now, Brad, that you want us to go over to? If not, I'm gonna send you all to Yoshi Sadarso, who's playing Pokemon Unite, or whoever you want. But check out the Patreon if you're so inclined. Check out continue the questions on our Discord. Check out our YouTube channel for more new things that we put up. Caitlin's live. Okay, we'll send you off to Caitlin. Let me see. Where's she at? Why does she show up? Okay, cool. Send you all over to her. The raid phrase is going to be
it's gonna be Hot Rod.
Hot Rod. All right, everyone. You know the drill. As always,
Nerd on.
Nerd on.